G'day. I'm back in New Zealand, in New Plymouth, for my granddaughter's birthday. And the folks at Apex Rentals have hired me this Toyota Highlander. It's an ICE vehicle. It's been quite a while since I've driven an ICE vehicle, so let me take you through it. The Toyota Highlander is a bit of a dinosaur. It's an ICE vehicle. Do you know the myths about ICE vehicles? Let me take you through some of them. No big iPad-sized screen in this vehicle. This is a Toyota Highlander. I've sort of forgotten what the startup procedure is, but I think we put the key in here, turn it. What's that noise? Oh, it's the engine. And I think there's a foot brake. So in the Tesla, I'd just be going up to reverse, but remember how these things used to work? You have to actually use this selector thing and you put it into reverse, that's right, like that. Amazing. It's done about 104,000 kilometres, so as a rental I'm assuming it's probably about 5 years old. Yeah, well, I guess since it's done over 100,000 kilometres, it won't be long now before it needs a new engine and transmission. I hear these ICE vehicles have to have those replaced about every 300,000 kilometres. I wonder how much that costs. So looking it up on Google, it's going to be $8,000 or $9,000 to replace the engine and the transmission in this Toyota Highlander. Plus, of course, installation costs. I only can guess what that might be, but it's got to be $2,000 or $3,000. So maybe $10,000 or $11,000. That's a lot of money every 300,000 kilometres. So when you want to refuel your ICE vehicle, you pull into one of these service centres and you top it up with petrol. I've made some inquiries about getting home fueling for an ICE vehicle, and they told me that's just not possible. It's not an option. So I'm just thinking maybe they'll deliver that as a future over-the-air software update. Anyway, I'm hoping this will be pretty cheap, because to charge an EV it's like $12 at a supercharger, so I imagine it's probably pretty similar when you fill up one of these ICE vehicles. Let's have a look, see what it costs. Oh my God. Yeah, I hear those electric vehicles use up their battery just sitting there running the air conditioning while you're parked. So far, this rental car's been averaging 9.6 kilometres per litre. So that's a running cost of 30 cents per kilometre just for fuel. I've been sitting at this traffic stop now for a couple of minutes, and the whole time the engine continues to idle. So it's using fuel while I'm just sitting here. I can, of course, turn the engine off, but then we may have to start again quickly. Well, sitting there, the range dropped by 4 kilometres. That's $1.20 for the fuel just to sit there for a few minutes waiting for the traffic to move. There we go. Those electric vehicles use up their battery just sitting there running the air conditioning while you're parked. And that would be true, but out of the 400 or so kilometres you get in range, really you only drop 2 or 3 kilometres sitting for a couple of hours watching a movie, as we did recently at the EV cinema. So let's call it 4 kilometres of range, and that's 6 cents a kilometre. So that's what, 24 cents to sit there for several hours running your air conditioning. So I'm down to less than quarter of a tank. This would give me a range of about 105 kilometres. Where I'm travelling from New Plymouth to Auckland, there are concentrations of petrol stations in New Plymouth, Cambridge and Auckland, but there's a big gap between New Plymouth and Cambridge, a distance of 230 kilometres, where there are no petrol stations. Surprisingly, there are more electric vehicle charging points on this route than there are petrol stations. So if you've been hesitating making the leap to an electric vehicle, these problems have been solved. Thanks for watching. G'day and welcome to Steve's Tesla. This is my channel dedicated to electric vehicles and renewable energy. Subscribe now and let's drive.